happiness is to have a smile, undying smile in all the situations of life. If I could keep it, and that's it, then I'm successful in life. I am not looking for happiness. Somewhere I stopped, and I know that I'm happy.
If someone you deeply care about is struggling with depression and anxiety, how can you help them find happiness again? Welcome back to Paul with You. I'm your host, Queen. Today we will explore the secrets of happiness with our special guest, Prakash Athrayil, a man whose life revolves around helping individuals and community cultivate well-being. Prakash is the director for the Indochina region of the Art of Living Foundation, an organization dedicated to holistic living, founded in 1981 by a globally renowned wellness experts and influencers, Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. You have spent a lot of time helping people cultivate well-being and understand happiness. I would like to start by getting to know you better. Can you share about your early years? Was there any influences or experiences that led to what you are doing at this moment?
Yeah, I also wonder about this. To be very honest with you, Art of Living was an accident for me. I just slipped into it. It happened by me going to my friend's house for a dinner. I did not know it was a planned dinner or it was maybe a plan by the nature. I just went for a dinner and then they were talking and then they were singing together. And I saw something positive with them, those people whom I spent. It was in Botswana, in Southern Africa, in 1999, if I specifically remember, June. And that something spark came into me. I said, oh, this is the way to live life. To be singing and then free. You know, I used to be a very introvert person. Weeks after weeks, I was waiting for the invitation from my friend, and then it continued, and then they introduced me to the program of the Art of Living, and the journey started from there. Somewhere during the journey, I found that I know my purpose now. And all my things which I wanted to do in my life, it's naturally manifesting. I can write a poem now. These are all things which happened on the path. Just being, meditating, and then being just happy, continuing my life. So Art of Living, I don't know whether I found Art of Living or Art of Living found me. So I'm very grateful for this journey, and it is very fulfilling when I share this, what I found, to the others through this techniques and through this knowledge and with the guidance of my teacher.
Yeah. It seems like you have reached a point of self-awareness where you know exactly what truly matters to you, what gives your life purpose. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to fall under a constant doing mode, just like checking things off a list. Going to school, graduating, getting a job, finding a partner, having kids. It's a constant and never-ending circle. But what if that checklist does not resonate with you or me? What if there is a different path waiting to be discovered? What if we allow ourselves to be in being mode, a space where we can reflect, we can slow down, we can pause and connect with ourselves and ask ourselves big questions like, who am I really? What do I truly desire? Do you think that self-discovery, figuring out your identity, purpose, and deepest desire is the key to unlocking true happiness?
Absolutely. I think you cracked the real question. You already cracked. If you ask me in one line, I can say everybody's purpose is same at a very broad level. But that's a secret which I don't want to say in this podcast right now. Maybe it is too early to say. That is for us to figure out. So I can show you the path, but you should know that it is your path. Only then you will walk. That is self-discovery. Maybe the path is same for everybody. But today I don't know that this is my path. So I facilitate. Like how a flower, every flower is here to blossom in this planet. But if we forcefully peel it, the petals will fall off. So we create the environment to allow the flower to blossom. And that's what Art of Living does. And the most beautiful thing is, it is a very natural process. Whether you are practicing something or not practicing something, all the challenges coming to your life is allowing you to open up, to giving you a new experience, is finding your purpose. The nature again and again is reminding you, oh my dear, you have not come for this, you have not come for this. But we are so caught up in what we want or what others are doing, and in that fear of missing out. They call it FOMO.
Yeah.
We are too much in that fear. We neglect the signals from the nature which is wanting to guide you to the path. And it is very beautiful that when we have a teacher in our life who has already walked the path, beautiful to just follow him, his footsteps. Not everybody is privileged to have a teacher. For all of us, for everything in our life, there is a teacher. Whether we want to learn cooking, you want to learn art, you want to learn anything, you have a teacher. Same for yourself as well. So somebody who has already discovered themselves, somebody who has already realized themselves, when they guide you, you just have to follow. And that feeling is so very beautiful. With knowledge, with techniques, with practices, step by step, you bloom in your life. And all of us are looking for happiness in everything which we do. At one level, if you look at it, why we need to have family, like you said. There are people who are happy without a family, and there are who are happy with a family also. But there is other way also. There are people who are unhappy without a family and unhappy with the family also. So happiness is not a thing whether you have a family or not family, whether you are successful, not successful. It is all relative, right? Happiness is my nature. And that's the discovery which comes after we walk the path and we go through the experiences of myself. And I can say this in many words, but unless it becomes your experience, it's not going to resonate for you. So the journey is to go through it. And there, if you have a guide, a master or teacher, and that journey becomes easier. So Buddha also walked the path, but there was no personal guide for him. He had to figure out himself. But that is also fine. There are many ways to reach a goal, and that is perfectly fine.
Pursuing happiness can be like solving a puzzle, because our experiences shape our perception of it. For instance, during the 2020 lockdown, I was in Montreal, and Montreal was one of the strictest cities in Canada. So everyone was mandated to stay at home during the curfew, without exception. A lot of people, many people suffer greatly while confined within four walls. But others, like myself, it wasn't so bad. So that experience highlights a key point. Maybe happiness is not a one-size-fits-all answer. Perhaps the key to unlocking true happiness lies in challenging common misconception about it. So my next question is, what are some common misconceptions about happiness, and why do they mislead us into believing that it is always external, elusive, and just out of reach?
Wonderful. So I want to ask a question back to you. What is happiness for you?
Happiness to me is not about sunshine or rainbows all the time. It's more about my ability to navigate the ups and downs. I'm not striving to be happy all the time because it's impossible. I do have my high time and low times. My goal is to cultivate resilience and practice the ability to bounce back quickly from unhappiness to a happiness state of mind. For example, when I'm stuck in the traffic, I'm feeling frustrated. And I first acknowledge that I have that feeling first. And I can feel it somewhere in my body. And then I will identify what is the trigger. So I know that my triggers are the cars in front of me. They are not moving. And then I ask myself some questions. Can I change the situation? Is there anything that I can make it better? Can I fix the road? And by the way, if getting angry could move the cars move faster, I would do it, absolutely. I would do it. But it won't. In that situation, instead of focusing my energy, my thoughts on something I cannot control, I choose to focus on what I can, my thoughts. It's a very simple but powerful reminder to me that my thoughts influence my feelings, which in turn influence my actions, which in turn influence the events around me. So why I cannot change the events, I change my thoughts. Fast forward to your question, my happiness consists of 4 things. Number 1 is to cultivate positive mindsets with constructive thoughts and potential solution. Number 2 is to having a purpose, because I believe that everyone has something special to offer to the world. And knowing my purpose helped me to get out of the bed in the morning and doing what I'm doing. Number 3 is to accepting life happens. And sometimes things don't happen the way we want. And that's okay. Yeah. And the last thing is to practicing gratitude, even with the smallest things like the air we breathe or the water we drink. Because I think we often take things for granted.
I think you're already enlightened. Yes, we are enlightened. All of us are enlightened to a degree. It's just that maybe not fully. It's very beautiful thoughts to what you shared, and I can really see it as coming from your experience of life. And at this young age, to have such a deep experience, my sincere wishes to you. Taking the thread from what you shared, absolutely, that's what I mean. We are looking for happiness in things outside. Right now I am happy, right now you are happy. We don't have a reason for it. That's it. I have not found my purpose yet, probably, but still I am happy. Yesterday I was happy. Day before yesterday I was happy. Still I have not fulfilled my desires. Still right now I am happy. Still I don't maybe have that much money which I need. Still I am happy right now. So what happens when money comes? Is it really bringing happiness? Is that what is bringing happiness? We may feel a little high or excited, and we think that is what is happiness in our life, and we keep chasing, and that's what our life becomes very miserable. Like, I remember one thing you shared is bringing your mind from the state of unhappiness back to the state of happiness. The stress in our life is the main killer. So what happened for you in the traffic signal is your ability to withstand the situation was less at that time, probably because of your bioenergy is less, or mentally, physically, the energy is not. When your energy is high at any given point, when our capacity high than the demand, then there is no stress. The stress is when the demand is more and then the capacity is less. And we just have to increase our capacity, and we can sail through everything, all the situations in life. Coming back to the happiness provision. So if happiness is my nature, why am I not able to experience it all the time? And that's where stress comes in. When the stress comes in, you are not just able to experience it. When you eliminate the stress, you manage the stress, you come back to your state. We are not gaining anything from outside. That's my nature, and it is with me. It's just that I go out of home. When I come back home, how I feel, that's it. That's a feeling when you regain back the thing. And it is there. It's not gone anywhere. It's just that it's clouded. The sun is shining. It's just the clouds, dark clouds have come. The darker the cloud is, the less visibility of the sun. The lighter the clouds are, the more visibility the sun is. Happiness is my nature. It is like the sun, ever shining. It is like the moon, ever shining. And situations, people, stress, physical inabilities, many things come to hide this from time to time. As you rightly said, the art of living is to know how to navigate through this and allow the sun to shine, which is my happiness. And that's exactly. For that, we need a little bit training, just for 3 days, 4 days of breathing exercises. Breath really helps to remove these things out of you, right? And then clear these clouds. Breath is magic. I'll tell you later on the coming side. So you learn a little bit techniques and then come back to yourself. Yourself is already pure and happy, always. It's just my mind is getting caught up in the traffic and then this thing and that thing and that. So if we know how I can manage my mind, my body a little bit, my emotions a little bit, that's it. We just come back to ourselves. There's nothing we are losing and nothing we are gaining. We are just coming back home, coming back to ourselves. That's my nature, and that's happiness.
Since you mentioned the sunshine, so I'm going to read this to you. Happiness sometimes is like a brilliant firefly. We eagerly chase after its glow, yearning for its light to guide us. But the firefly darts and disappears, leaving us frustrated in the darkness. Happiness can appear fleeting, like a warm sunbeam momentarily gracing a cold winter day, then suddenly obscured by passing clouds, leaving us longing for its return. Is happiness truly so fragile? And what does happiness mean to you? And can you share your personal definition of happiness?
This is not my answer, my master's answer, my teacher's answer. My teacher said to me that happiness is to have a smile, undying smile in all the situations of life. If I could keep it, and that's it, then I'm successful in life. Today, for me, I am not looking for happiness. Somewhere I stopped. And I know that I'm happy. And I also know that I can become sad. But it is coming because of a reason. So I just work on those reasons. Like you said, what triggers that sadness? Those triggers, I worked on it. So then I'm most of the time in the happy state of mind. And it is okay to be sad. Now I am not anymore fighting with my sadness. So that leaves me more happy, and it takes less time for me to come back to my state of happiness. Happiness is not a firefly which I am chasing. Happiness is the fire which is inside me and which is ever burning. Yes, I cannot experience it sometimes, like I said, because of many factors. So I have to, my only skill which I need is to see how quickly I can come back. How quickly I can
bounce back. Yeah.
And actually, bounce back is also not a thing. How I can come back to myself. I think that will be the right word. The only problem is when I move away from myself, I am miserable. When I am back to myself, I am happy. So all the techniques in the world, spiritual practices in the world, is to remind you and get you back again and again back to yourself. And every day if you practice it, it becomes established in your nature, then never ever you can lose it. That's why you need to practice it. And there are many paths and many ways. I totally agree. An art of living could be one. There are many ways to do it. Mindfulness is one. You could be listening to music, and there would be many ways. But just by listening to music, sometimes we cannot handle some situations. Right? Sometimes mind is too agitated, and that time you really don't want to even listen to them. Even if somebody put the music, you feel, oh no, irritating. That even the moon is irritating at that time. But when we are calm, wow, what a nice moon today, good cool breeze. But when you're irritated, the moon is not so charming for you. There we will need little bit knowledge, maybe a little bit techniques for you to come in, depending upon the situation. So you need to have a gamut of techniques and knowledge to handle, and then we have to come back. Do you understand? This is a very important point. I think you already got it. When you think it is outside, you have to chase. There's a lot of effort. Well, that's what the teacher says. There is no effort at all. You just have to drop what unwanted things you're carrying. Do you understand? See, when there is something outside which I have to chase, no, it's already there with you. That's what, they give an analogy very beautiful. When I am a king, why am I begging? I beg because I think I don't have it with me and I have to get it from somebody else, somewhere else. Please make me happy, please make me happy, please make me happy. I am a king, I just have to bring it out. Or not even bring it out, just remove the things which are blocking it. That's the only thing I think we have to learn.
What do you think about surrender? Do we need to surrender in life in order to be happy? It is the same with we see things as the way it is. So we just...
Very beautiful question. See, surrender is a very big word, and it just happens in our life. Time to time we feel helpless in our life. When we feel helpless, we take help from the people who are more powerful than us, or at that time has the ability to help. A child is surrendered to the mother. A partner is surrendered to the other partner for many things. And if they refuse to surrender, then they cannot be a good couple at all. That is the problem today. There's a lot of divorce happening because they refuse to sacrifice, they refuse to surrender in love. And surrendering in love is a very beautiful thing, very natural thing. And that's what a baby does to the mother. And similar way, surrendering to life is also very beautiful. We don't need to resist what comes to me. Nature only is going to bring best things to me. And like you said, that's the ability to accept. And surrendering to the knowledge, then life becomes more easier. Surrendering to some higher power. It could be Buddha, it could be any master, any teacher, anybody. And then life becomes so easy. Surrender is not an act. Surrender is a happening. And it's from inside. And if you don't surrender, No need to worry. Life will bring you to surrender by its experiences, by its beautiful revelations, by your own, the path will make you. So you don't need to struggle and it will happen. We just have to be natural. That's what I think.
If someone you deeply care about, like a family member, a friend, or a co-worker, is struggling with depression and anxiety, withdrawing themselves from life and other, how can you help them find happiness again?
Yeah, our techniques really helps. And I really want to hear from you. What was your experience when you did the breathing exercises and meditation? Would you like to share?
To be honest, I used to skeptical about meditation. It seems strange and like something only monks do. When a friend of mine first introduced to me meditation back in 2015, I resisted it. At that time, I was dealing with my inner turmoil and my ego was extremely high. So watching my friend meditate felt odd to me. It wasn't until 2017 I started to learn meditation, and it's completely changed my perception about it. So I gained a deeper understanding about meditation. I know the benefit it can bring to our health, right? So now I'm trying to maintain a daily meditation, but in shorter time. So maybe for me, 15 minutes to 20 minutes works for me. I gain my mental clarity. It helps me to feel calm. It helps me to connect with myself. Meditation is a very important part in my personal development journey.
Wonderful. This exactly is what I would suggest for your friend or for the person who is suffering from depression. The depression is basically our energy is very low now, where we are unable to recover from it. So now we need some help. See, we all go to a lower state of energy. Normally, it's a very natural thing. Like you said, ups and downs are there every day. But we don't stoop into that level where it's difficult for us to recover ourselves. So depression is a state of mind. I think the energy has gone very low. So now they need to be lifted up. So they need some help of breathing exercises. The Art of Living is offering a lot of breathing exercises, as you know, you've also practiced it. Few minutes, maybe 15-20 minutes of breathing every day will lift them up. The second thing is, like, basically initially when we ask them, see, the depressed people know, they're like, they don't want to, they will not take any initiative, they just simply sit there. You have to really push. So initially they may need a little external pressure or push, a little encouragement, and then little consistent motivation to bring them. Once they get to a certain energy level, then they can carry forward on their side. And another thing, this depression state of mind would have come because of some strong impressions in them, like a breakup in a relationship, or heartbreak, or a loss, a personal loss in their life, or it could be something physical thing,
illness,
or they lose hope. It could be many things. So when they do a little bit of breathing with asanas and then meditation, what happens is the prana, we call prana is the life force energy, comes back to them. When your life force energy is full, then there is no depression. There is no depression at all. So we would be really happy to help if there are some people who are hearing this podcast. If there's anybody depressed, it is not uncurable. You don't need to feel bad about it. And it is not a disease. It's just your state of energy is low. Please come, take a little initiative, come and then put yourself for a 3-day workshop. And you breathe through the thing, and then clear out everything what is stuffed in your mind, and then get fresh energy back into your life. And it is possible. And one of our teachers, It's very much possible to deal with it, and we will be very happy to guide you. Just to add there, as you rightly said, practice and knowledge both are important in life. I would say practice is like the sword you have, and knowledge is like the shield. When a problem comes to you, you first use the shield and you block it. Sometimes the problems are so strong, it cut through your shield. Then you take your sword and then cut it. And why I practice is so that I become so strong, then it doesn't affect me. Now, while we are needing some well practices, we also need life lessons. Many of our problems today are because of our perceptions are not right. What you think is right, and if I think it is wrong, and what I think is wrong and is right, we are not going to be compatible to each other. And we are going to create problem for each other. And that's what exactly happening in this world. Why a husband and wife is not able to live for a long time. Why? Because somewhere when they were in love, they did not bother too much about all this. But when they decided to take their stand in life, then it becomes very difficult. And your rights are my wrongs and my rights are your wrongs. So what is real right and what is real wrong? Who can define it is very difficult. My right can be your wrong.
Yeah.
So that is where some life lessons are also important. So the life lessons will help you not to collect stress, and the practices will help you to release the stress which you will take. So and in a day, they both are important. Throughout the day you are in the world and you are dealing with the rights and wrongs. So you need to know how not to collect the stress. In spite of all this, some stress is going to come. And every day you sit and then breathe or meditate for a few minutes a day, and then whatever you collected, the next day morning you are ever new. You are totally new. And I say to myself, even when I die one day, I will die new, not old. And I keep myself new. And if you can do this moment to moment, and that this life is ever new, and it's such a beautiful thing. It's not same old thing, same old food, same old what, same old cook, same old wife, same old husband, same old work. No. It can be new. It's just that our mind has become old. And by breathing and meditation, you see the same things, but it is new. Like how the water in the river is flowing, the river is ever new. That river existed for thousands of years and it will exist. But the river is right now new. Same way our life also. Very beautiful.
And people often afraid of death. Because this is something terrible, right? But actually, we can look at death in a beautiful way. What do you think about that?
I don't know, I'm qualified to answer all this, but still I'm answering with your humble. This is my understanding. What I've learned from my teachers and my teacher. Death is inevitable.
Yes.
Something which is inevitable, and if you're afraid of it, you're going to suffer.
Yes.
You need to come in terms with it, very clear. So what is death and what happens, and all that is a separate science and separate thing, which requires a deeper conversation on a later time. But coming back to his life and death is true, and it is going to happen. So fearing death is only going to make you miserable in life, right? And then so this is a reality. Whoever has died whoever is born will surely have to die one day. Now let us look at the other angle of it. Imagine in your life, in your house, nobody died. Then your house will be having 50 grandfathers, 500 grandmothers, 600 grandparents. You'll say, oh, please die. There's no place at our house. And then the city would have been full. Imagine if I don't die for next 500 years. What will happen? I say, okay, man, come on, let's go. It's very important. In our world, whatever is there, day and night is important.
Mm-hmm.
And it is complementing. So life and death is
Yeah.
Body cannot continue for more. And what is the point in having this life if this body cannot continue? So I think it is ignorance, fearing death. You need to understand, I would invite them to understand a little more about what is death and what happens, and which can be, as I said, it's another kind of conversation. And no need to be afraid. And it's fine. And that's reality, whether it is fine or not. You understand? So, and these techniques also will help you to understand a little bit more about what is life and what is death.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So then you are not afraid of it anymore.
Mm. And since we mentioned about death and life, Gurudev explained the 7 layers of existence: the body, mind, ability to breathe, intellect, memory, ego, and the self or soul. We all breathe, right? Effortlessly and instinctively, even when we're speaking. Because breathing is so automatic, we often overlook the importance of proper breathing. Why do focusing on our breath and engaging in breathing exercises enhance our overall well-being?
Breath is life. No breath, no life. More breath, more life. That's it. So when your life energy is more, everything is okay for you. You want to take challenges, any situations you can handle. When your energy is low, everything looks very, very difficult for you. So breath is life, and this life force energy is driving you. When there is more life, more energy, more happiness, everything more. When there is less life, so we have to breathe. And in fact, what you said is very nice. We are not breathing. The breath is forcefully going into our nose. If you really notice it. If we are breathing, we would have died long before. You know why? Because we miss out many things in our life. I'm sure 1 or 2 days we forgot to breathe because we are very busy working or doing something, chasing our dreams. And we would have gone a long time before. Because nature has said, okay, these important things, we should not leave it to humans. These people are very dangerous. They will forget about this also. And it kept on pushing the breath inside. The problem is we are not breathing. Means breath is automatically going inside and it is only filling your lungs 20 to 25%. Just to keep you alive. But if you have to really breathe, you see, children are very happy. Yes. Children are full of energy. Children are full of life. You know why? The difference is because they breathe. 90-95% of their lung capacity. Now, see, we both are breathing. How much are we breathing? Very feeble, just to keep ourselves alive. So when you breathe consciously with full lungs, then life comes into you. And when there is more life, we are more happy, more energy. Life is beautiful.
Many listeners might be new to breathwork practices. Could you share a simple yet effective breathing technique so that they can incorporate into their daily routine to promote balance and mental clarity? Can you teach us now?
Sure, I wanted to teach more, but the podcast may not be a good time. But I can just generally say a few things and show you a few things, you know. See now, like the last point which I said is, now you see, you're only breathing maybe 25%, 30% of your lung capacity. By breathing consciously itself, a lot of things can happen for you. Like for example, we call it in the yoga terms, yogic breathing. Yogic breathing is, now you see, our lungs has lower lobe, middle lobe and upper lobe. Now you see, when you fill in your breath, see, do you see? First my stomach expand, then my chest expand, then my shoulders expand. When I breathe out, This is full yogic breathing. If you consciously breathe 10 times like this, itself you'll see big relief. Lot of prana. Many people have sleeping problem.
Yes, yeah.
Right? When they lie down, you know why? Because there's a lot of thoughts and then they're stuck here and there. So they just have to lie down and take 10 breaths like this. See? You can keep like this so you can feel it, no? Feel it maximum. Empty it fully. Do this 10 times itself, suddenly you will see a lot of awareness comes in, a lot of energy comes in, your emotions settle down. Imagine you are angry, right?
Yeah.
So ask the person, can you please wait for me? And then you do this 10 times. You cannot be angry with that person after 10 rounds of breath like this. Emotion is directly connected to breath. When you are angry, how is your breath? Faster.
Short breath,
Yeah.
right?
Faster, and then when you're sad, your breath is small, short. So when you consciously breathe, if emotions are affecting your breath, breath can affect your emotions. So when you do conscious breathing, you can come out of anything, emotion, mental state, physical. Physically it is so healing. You know your body is breathing, not just your lungs is feeling. Your body is breathing. Every cell is alive. This body is a living being. That's how they are alive. So the breath which you take heals your body, energizes your mind, clears the toxins in your mind. Very important. Incoming breath is energizing and outgoing breath is relaxing. Do you know this? 70 to 80% of the toxins in the body is going through breath.
Yeah.
Very important. Emotional toxins. I'll tell you, breath is magic. You have to learn a 3 days workshop and you will get all the secrets of how to maintain your body, breath and mind. And when they are in harmony, happiness will come running behind you.
What is the best time to do breath work? During the day, in the morning, before going to bed, or
the good time, ancient people have said, is sunrise, sunset, mid-noon. These times are good.
Yeah.
Meditation, these times are good. For breathing, I would say sunrise and sunset times are good. Those times, the cosmos is in a very different thing. And there's this called as transition time. Then the sunrise and sunset, the power is more in the consciousness. So any spiritual practices or any healing practices you do at that time, it will be more effective for you. Yeah. But I'll tell you, don't wait for sunrise and sunset. Many times I don't see the sunrise. But whatever time you have, when your stomach is a little light, that's the best time. Let's do it. That's what I would say. Because we wait for the good time and the good times never come.
Yes.
Better make the time and then do it.
How frequently do you meditate per day?
I meditate 2 times a day.
2 times a day. And how long?
Sometimes 3 times, but 20 minutes is good enough. Yeah, because we have to contribute to this world. Today, right now, my purpose I see is I want to contribute something. Now I have little more energy in my life before I am too old to be physically moving my body. So I want to spend maximum time in contributing back. So I know maybe another few more years I have in that. It could be 10 or 20, we don't know. And then I want to contribute maximum. So I'm very clear. So I keep myself healthy and happy by doing some yoga a little bit, maybe around 15-20 minutes of yoga, and then around 20 minutes of meditation, 20 minutes of breath work and 20 minutes of meditation. Some days, in case if the schedule is very tight, then I skip one of them, but still I make it a point, 2 of them I do for sure.
Yeah.
But if I have a 10 to 15 minutes of asanas, yoga, And then if I have 15 to 20 minutes of breath, and then breath work, and around 20 minutes of meditation, I'm fully recharged. Like how you charge your phone. Full day. But my usage is very high some days. Then I just fill it once again, recharge once again. That's it. But most of the time, I keep my battery full so that I'm ready and available for what life throws at me. We are not ready, that's why we get problem. You can be ready, like when today there's going to be a lot of calls, so you keep your battery fully charged, or you have a mobile charger with you, right? Similar way life also. Life can just bring you any situation, anytime, isn't it? So you need to be ready. How are you ready? Practice every day. Don't need to wait for things come and then you fall down and then you get up. You can be ready every day, and that way life becomes more beautiful. And in case you don't need that energy that day, you can spend it on somebody else. That is service. A day is very beautiful. Today I don't have any much challenges and my battery is still full. So I can do something for others. What a life, what a beautiful thing. I have more time and more energy. So let me serve for somebody. And that brings a lot of fulfillment in my life and meaning for me.
So you do yoga, meditation, breath work, any specific diet?
I'm a vegetarian by choice.
By choice.
And it keeps myself lighter, my body light. And it's conducive for me to meditate well. And also I believe, and there are many scientific studies which says vegetarian diet is better and we are not made naturally, because our teeth or our intestines and all are not made for eating meat. That's what it says. I'm not an expert in this, but for me personally, last 30 years before even I come to Art of Living, I became vegetarian. Last 30 years I've been vegetarian, and it really works for me. And I feel very light, my body is light, and even my meditations have become better after I become. And I avoid too much fried items, which makes me heavy. See, I'm eating food to gain energy. If my food is making my energy drain, then that means that food is wrong. Fried food makes me drain. Heavy food makes me drain. So sometimes, once in a while, I let it go, just to be, But predominantly my diet is that I don't allow my food to take over me. Sometimes just let it loose, it's okay. But every day if you let it loose, then you will become sick, disease. In India, there is a saying, in the olden days, person who is eating 3 times a day is sick, they say. Is a rogi, they say. 2 times is okay, but the person who's eating only 1 time is a yogi, they say. So imagine they used to only eat 1 time a day, and only that much is required. But now we are eating whole day, keep on drinking something, So whatever, our body is constantly in this thing, energy is spent on digesting, and then this whole process is going on. Body doesn't get time to heal at all. So we need to take a proper diet with the required carbs, required proteins, required all those blah blah blah, the things the dietitian has given us. But I think most of us are overeating or not properly eating. That's why. For me also, I'm not a very good disciplined thing in that way, because I keep traveling. But I try to maintain whenever I get time to. And then I detox myself sometimes with herbs and, so that way I balance my body.
So you only have 1 meal per day?
No. I eat, I need more energy because I travel, I do a lot of work. I like my work. So when you have to spend more energy, you need to have more energy. So, you need to be really, so I eat 2 times minimum. Most of the days 3 times. But average, I think two times properly. See, today morning I just had some nuts and then something. So I'll have a proper lunch and a proper dinner. 2 is required for me. For my body also. Depends on the body nature also, I think. Mine is fire nature, so I need more food. More, like at least proper food. Some people don't need it like that. So depend on, you need to know your body a little bit.
It's very important to understand our body.
Yeah.
Right?
What suits me may not suit you.
Yeah,
Like,
what suits me. So that's
see.
why different diets may apply to you, but it may not apply to me. Yeah. This is a fascinating conversation, and we have delved into the very essence of happiness. We explore we learn a practical breathing technique. There's so many things that we can talk about happiness, but our time is flying by. However, there is one question that I think everyone listening would love to hear your take on. So just imagine that your 20 years old self just sitting next to you in this room, right here. If you could offer him one piece of advice on how to unlock true happiness, what would that be?
Oh, very beautiful question. I would tell him that now whatever you are chasing, maybe girlfriends or substances or the desires which you have, right now I feel all those energies I wasted in my life, all those time I wasted in my life. I could have saved a lot there, thinking what this person is doing, what that person is doing, running behind this and that and this and that, chasing for happiness without knowing what is really going to bring me happiness. If I could have been in this state of mind at that time, I would have really changed this world, right? Nevertheless, I'm very grateful. I started my spiritual journey or my practices at 24, which is very early for anyone. That's what they say. But I still feel I'm late. I was late. Maybe 20, you said when I was 20. At 20, I was like clueless. But today's generation, if you see, they are much more intelligent than our generations. You see that? Our children, they ask big questions. When we were studying, we were very innocent. Parents told something, we just very religiously followed, and suddenly life opened up, something like that. But today's 20-year-old is very, very, very different. But for my 20-year-old, I would have said, my dear, stop it. This is not exactly what you're looking at. But I don't know whether I would have listened to when I was 20-year-old. Maybe my father told me, my mother told me, but at that time it was not my experience. So, and I would like to ask you back, and what would you tell if you meet your 20-year-old now?
Maybe I just tell her to find something that set her soul on fire and just embrace all experience with gratitude. There are so many experiences. When I look back at that time, I was very, very upset, very, very angry. Why it's happened to me? Why me, right? But now, when I look back, I saw those experiences create the person I am today. It gives me skills, it gives me knowledge, it gives me wisdom. If I have the chance to talk to myself when I was 20 years old, I just, calm down, be patient. There are so many things beautiful ahead. So just, find something that you really want to do and just be grateful for everything in life with an open mind and heart.
Wonderful. Really wonderful. I was also thinking, maybe we should have been that way only. Nothing to change actually. That is why, because of that, we are experiencing this right now. Because we went through all those that time. So today we are valuing it so much. So maybe we should just tell our 20 years old son, let it be. Just be. Yeah. You are in the right place. Maybe that's also beautiful. Very nice. Wonderful.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. and sharing your wisdom on the journey to well-being. Your insights have shown us that self-care does not have to be overwhelming. So simple practice like conscious breathing, conscious with our thoughts, can make a significant change in our life. Before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts or advice for our listener who are just beginning their well-being journey?
Yeah. We need a combination of wellness lessons, some practices, life lessons. Do necessarily learn it from a teacher. That makes a big difference. I've tried many things to learn from the YouTube and all that. Of course, for a very significant percentage of people, it worked or it was a good start. But eventually, when you hear in the presence of a teacher who have experienced it, you don't need to waste a lot of time. So that's what I would suggest. And be more sincere in our practice. Don't keep digging holes everywhere. Dig one place deeper. You will find the water. We keep digging to this place, that place, this technique, this thing, this teacher, this thing, this yoga, that yoga, open this beer yoga, kundali yoga. So many yogas are here. Many times only shopping happens, and we don't buy anything. Very important, stop digging holes everywhere. Your land will be unusable. Dig in one place and find water. And you will find water. Nature will support you. And we are all there to support you. And you will find your true happiness inside you, not outside.
And it's important to have a mentor as well.
For me, it was very important. It is not impossible, but very difficult, particularly in these days, because we are attracted by many things outside, and we don't know so many confusing things outside. Right. So we really can get overwhelmed or fooled or waste a lot of time. So we need a true guide, a mentor. That saves a lot of time, and our journey can be faster and easier.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Gwen. Thank you very much. Namaste.